I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Schmack-a-macabre, it's time for the only news that matters. And SLAYER! Iconic second album they released, Hell Awaits, is set to receive a 40th anniversary edition reissue via Metal Blade Records next spring. Formed in 1981, SLAYER assaulted the world with a hybrid of metal and punk, heavier, faster, and darker than the rest, and set a new standard, defining not only a genre but an attitude. Throughout SLAYER's history, the band never faltered in unleashing their extreme and focused assault. And SLAYER rules, man. Why do I have to read what somebody's saying? I know how much they rule, you know? But, you know, as far as Hell Awaits goes, Kerry King said, it's the record where SLAYER became SLAYER. And he knows of what he speaks. As a band's guitarist, co-writer, and co-lyricist, he was in the trenches with vocalist, bassist Tom Araya, guitarist Jeff Hanneman, rest in peace, and drummer Dave Lombardo, my favorite thrash drummer. Actually, Bill Ward and Dave Lombardo are my two favorite drummers. You know, before I continue the story on SLAYER, I gotta tell you, when I was on tour with my band, we played New York. And the promoter, super cool guy, we got there a day early. He took us that night, paid for all of us to get in, to go see Dave Lombardo and his band. I think they were called Scrum or something like that. I can't remember the name of the band, but it was instrumental stuff, and it was amazing. It was a little tiny club, and Dave Lombardo was playing SLAYER stuff too. SLAYER fills during songs. It was unbelievable. Definitely my favorite drummer of all time, with Mr. Bill Ward. Anyway, a significant departure from 1983's debut, Show No Mercy, and every SLAYER album that came after it. Hell Awaits is both an outlier and a solidification of form. Show No Mercy was the mission statement, but Hell Awaits is more developed and intricate, execution of a SLAYER's speed, chops, and aggression. And it was released in April of 1985 by Metal Blade Records. And Hell Awaits was the pinnacle of an action-packed thrash year that saw debut albums from Megadeth, Exodus, Creator, Possessed, Destruction, Hyrax, and Overkill. All came out in 85. And heavily influenced by Merciful Fate, my all-time favorite band with Black Sabbath. The longer, more progressive arrangements on Hell Awaits marked a new era for SLAYER, whereas most of the songs on Show No Mercy were less than 4 minutes long. 3 on Hell Awaits, 7 tracks, go beyond the 6-minute mark. Now, Kerry said, Jeff and I were still trying to figure out who we were as musicians, and we were both infatuated with Merciful Fate's Melissa album during the writing process of Hell Awaits. That's why there's so few songs, and most of them are pretty long. That's the only time anything like that ever happened with us. And Tom Araya's performance, the vocalist spat lyrics a mile a minute on the likes of Kill Again and Praise of Death. Well, actually, Hell Awaits as well, man. I mean, that's probably the fastest singing on the album during Hell Awaits, I think. Anyway, he says, I don't recall the songs being hard to sing. Singing fast and clearly has always been something that I strived for. All right, this reissue is arriving May 15, 2026 in 3 physical formats and digitally. Pre-orders are available now at metalblade.com/Slayer, which I plan on going now and pre-ordering it because I need this. You know, there is the vinyl box set, which I'm getting. It's 3 LPs total. And it's got 18 live bonus tracks, man, from 1985 at Bochum. That's what it says, live at Bochum. I think I'm pronouncing it right. It brings 60-page book, 12-inch size. Hell Awaits album in a gatefold sleeve and remastered and restored. The original 1985 production tapes by Patrick W. Engel at Temple of Disharmony in February 2025. And it's a vinyl colored splatter vinyl. And then it has the live at Bochum 1985 gatefold, 2 LPs, 18 tracks, never before released physically or digitally. Replica tickets from the Bochum show. If I'm pronouncing Bochum wrong, oh boy, I can imagine the comments below. The replica of the Hell Awaits tour laminate, Hell Awaits tour poster, the German dates, a Slipknot band poster, replica merch flyer, replica Satanic Wehrmacht newsletter, and 2 flyers. And there's also going to be a blood-filled liquid vinyl that's a Slayer store exclusive, where only 666 of them are made. Yeah, and 7 tracks, Hell Awaits, mastered and restored from the original 1985 production. And oh boy, and then, you know, there's also the CD one. They're going to release it on CD, and all I can say is take my freaking money. You know, that one picture of the splatter vinyl looks nice. The blood inside the album, that looks pretty cool. But I'm sure it's too expensive. I ain't going to get that. Only 666 made. You know that shit sold out now. You know? You know it's sold out. But yeah, I got to get this. This album, seriously, I'll tell you, man. My history with Slayer was the very first Slayer album I bought was Show No Mercy when it was brand new. Before Hell Awaits, I bought it from the strength of the album cover and Jeff Hanneman in the back with the cross. That's the 2 things that sold me on that album. And honestly, I didn't get it at first. It took a few listens. But Hell Awaits, man, I'll never forget getting Hell Awaits. Was in California. I was on a bus in California and I was going to a record store. Not knowing what I was going to buy. I had no idea. And I'm on this bus and the bus stops at a bus bench. And the bus bench has carved into it Slayer Hell Awaits. I'll never forget that, man. And I said, if they got Hell Awaits on that store, I'm going to buy that album. And I did. And unlike Show No Mercy, Hell Awaits got me right away. And I was like, oh my God, I like this even more than Show No Mercy. Later on, I liked Show No Mercy more. Now I'm kind of like on the Hell Awaits side again. But seriously, my favorite's Haunting the Chapel, what comes in between. But what an album this album is. It's, you know, it's a game changer. It's so influential. It's so important. Slayer, man, is so important to me. You know, I have this, I love just the feel, the craziness, the human nature of those guitar solos. You know, I see many people slam on, you know, Kerry King and Jeff Hanneman. I was just like all whammy crap, this and that. That's how you hear it. I hear it as such an important part of the song that actually kind of like, I wouldn't say it elevates the song, but it stays at the same level of the song's elevation. You know, I don't think Slayer released one bad song on well, yeah, I can go, you know, Rain and Blood as well, throw that in, but there's not a bad song to be found on these two albums and EP. There's just none. They're all great, and I love the guitar work. That's one thing I really love about Slayer. It's not this technical, because, you know, there's people out there that don't like what Kerry King and Jeff Hanneman do because they like that precise shit. You know, they like, you know, or a little more technical, not so, you know. But me, man, I was lucky because my thrash band, Thrash or Die, my guitar player, was a Kerry King nut. And he would do those type of solos. You know, I had another guitar player that was, you know, he was all technical, you know. It was kind of like a KK Downing Glenn Tipton thing. But Slayer, you know, they were both like aggressively cutthroat guitar players as far as solos go. You know, they're just killing it, you know, but some people don't get it. I get it because it's this organic nature that is part of my favorite bands. Like the first Black Sabbath was, you know, the first lineup was so organic. The first Iron Maiden lineup was so organic. This Slayer stuff is so organic, but also speed, just craziness, man. It was, you know, they talk a lot about Merciful Fate on Hell Awaits, but, you know, there's a lot of venom on Show No Mercy, too. I mean, there's a lot of influence of those two bands, and Merciful Fate's my favorite band of all time. No wonder I like Hell Awaits the best, you know? At Dawn They Sleep? Come on. Kill Again? You're gonna bet your ass I'm gonna buy this shit, and I will review it on this channel. Who's gonna buy it? Leave it in the comments below. Is this your favorite Slayer? It's mine, man. I love Rain and Blood. I love it, but I'm telling you, I'm a weird guy. I know Rain and Blood's the best album, but I like Hell Awaits, Show No Mercy, and Honey Chapel more. I do. I grew up with that. That's what I was turned on to. By the time Rain and Blood came out, holy crap, they turned into a more refined killing machine, and it slays. Rain and Blood is up there, the greatest speed metal album of all time, you know. But man, there's something about that early Slayer stuff. What do you all think? Leave it in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching The Only News That Matters. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Ring that little notification bell and like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Merciful Fate, Evil, and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.